Hello guys, Jack from NerdOut here, and welcome to week 6 of the WBE. This week, the 8th Hall Luchas are against the one, the only, Aaron Cybertron Zeng. Just a precursor to this video. Sorry there's only one video this week. I'm rolling the team builder and the match into one, and I'm sorry it's a bit late. Had a super busy week. We even had to push the match back to the last minute because I really didn't have any time this week. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get to it. So let's break Aaron's team down real quick. He has Boltund, Whimsicott, Unpheasant, Toracat, Excadrill, G-Max Toxtricity, Glaceon, Primarina, Duosion, Gigalith, and Bronzor. This is a very scary draft. He has so much speed and decent trick room options. Obviously, the main threat on his team is the Excadrill and Gigalith combination. He can pair that with a Whimsicott Excadrill lead, switch in the Gigalith, get a Tailwind, and Sand Rush boost. There is no outspeeding that. Obviously, I have Unburden Hall Lucha, which can outspeed one of those boosts, but if I combine both of them, there's no way I can beat it. He also has Intimidate on the Toracat with the Parting Shot. He can really work down my attack if he needs to. Primarina is the top kill leader in the entire league. I gotta watch out for that. I do have a decent answer to that with the Virizion. Also, he's got to be wary of my electric mode. So I really do think this week is a week of mind games. I am 100% expecting Unpheasant to come this week. Otherwise, my Virizion causes him some real problems. However, we could see Boltund to outspeed the whole Lucha in Tailwind if he wants to. However, I don't think that is the most likely option. I'm really expecting a Jake Button Whimsicott. So I gotta play with my Psychic Terrain. He's not gonna want me to set up. So he's gonna force me into Indeedee, and he can pretty much predict what I'm going to do at that point. I don't think he's bringing Bronzor. I don't think he's bringing Glaceon. A Scarf Toxtricity is a possibility, but with Colossal and Steelix being such solid counters to that, I don't think it's very likely. I do really have to focus on preserving my Virizion this week, otherwise I just lose to Primarina. So the team I expect him to bring is 100% he's bringing Whimsicott. He's led it every single week, so Whimsicott is 100%. He's got to bring Excadrill and Gigalith. I definitely think Toracat is an option. Primarina has to come, otherwise Steelix just rolls through his team, and I could definitely see Unpheasant for the Virizion. So let's break down how I'm gonna beat this team. Okay, leading off this week, we have Ezio the Sneasel. Bit of a different moveset on Ezio this week. He's got Icy Wind, Beat Up, Ice Shard, Snarl, and a Choice Scarf. It has to run the Choice Scarf to outspeed the Whimsicott, so I can Ice Shard it and remove that Jake Button. It's got Snarl on there because Primarina is really a big threat this week. Beat Up to boost the Virizion as always, and Icy Wind. With so much speed on his team, I want to be able to reduce the speed of that team as much as possible. With Max Attack, it can actually two-shot the Unpheasant and the Whimsicott with Ice Shard, but otherwise it's perfectly EV to outspeed everything possible. That's right, we've brought it to every single game. It is Virizion. Going in with a Leaf Blade, Close Combat, Zen Headbutt, and Bounce. Running the Assault Vest. The Assault Vest allows it to lift those max Starfalls from the Primarina, even without a Dynamax. Decided to go for a slow, bulky set for that exact reason. I am not going to outspeed the Unpheasant because I am 100% confident if he brings Unpheasant, it is Choice Scarf, specifically to deal with the Virizion. We got Zen Headbutt just in case he brings the Toxtricity. However, I can also set the Psychic Terrain with that to nullify the Whimsicott's Prankster. Finally, we have the return of Hall Lucha for the 8th Hall Luchas. It hasn't done really much work for this team so far, but hopefully that's going to change this week. We're running Close Combat, Fire Punch, Dig, Detect, and Weakness Policy. The idea behind this particular set is that we activate the Weakness Policy with Ice Shard. A Close Combat can kill a Dynamax Excadrill. We got Fire Punch on there if I want to max it and change the weather. Dig covers for Tox, Toracat, it can hit Excadrill, it can hit Bronzor, it can hit Gigalith. The Airstream isn't really hitting anything this week, so hopefully this is our secret weapon. Next up is Indeedee, yet again, coming to die yet again. Follow me, Expounding Force, Helping Hand, Imprison, running a Focus Sash. Really the idea behind this Indeedee is to help us set up our second mode and stop the Prankster. Follow me to stop damage to other Pokemon, the Helping Hand to do extra damage to other Pokemon, and we got an Imprison on there just in case he brings Imprison Duosion, so I can imprison the Imprison and get up my Trick Room. Speaking of Trick Room, Bohemian Rhapsody returns. Running Trick Room, Expanding Force, Energy Ball, and Ally Switch. Psychic Seed for that extra special defense boost besides the Indeedee. Max HP, max special attack. We want to get as much damage off with this thing as possible. Expanding Force is always the move to click. Unless the Psychic Terrain isn't up, then Energy Ball will hit the Gigalith a little bit harder. I'm hoping to see something good from Bohemian this week. I do enjoy using this Pokemon, but very rare I like to run Trick Room, but this might be one of those weeks. And the final monster of the Trick Room is Steelix. High horsepower, Iron Head, Wide Guard, and Protect. we're running room service. We want to run this thing in Trick Room, and if he's running min speed Gigalith, it will actually outspeed us in Trick Room. However, the room service will allow us to outspeed it in Trick Room. The Wide Guard, I am expecting Hyper Voice, Rock Slide, maybe even an Earthquake. So hopefully I can preserve some of my Pokemon with the Wide Guard. If not, the Protector's there to just preserve myself. This thing hits hard. If I can get rid of the Primarina, this runs through his entire team. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hopping into game 1. The plan was to lead Sneasel and Holucha, but I saw that Unfezant. I was like, yo, I think Trick Room is the way. So we lead Indeedee, Beheeyem, Virizion, and Steelix in the back. The plan is to get up the Trick Room and sweep from behind. Hopping into game 1, we see Cybertron lead with the Whimsicott and Torracat. That's a very good situation for the 8th Holuchas. Indeedee and Beheeyem will have no problem setting up the Trick Room. Intimidate lowers the attack of both Indeedee and Beheeyem, but that doesn't matter. The Psychic Surge activates, setting the Psychic Terrain. The Psychic Seed activates, boosting the special defense of the Beheeyem. Indeedee goes for the Follow Me, averting any damage from the Beheeyem. Dazzling Gleam comes out, a little bit of chip damage on both Pokemon. The Parting Shot switching out the Torracat, lowering the attack and special attack of the Indeedee. Out comes the Gigalith. We know this thing is going to be good in Trick Room. The Sandstream is set, boosting the special defense of the Gigalith, and Beheeyem makes things weird and sets the Trick Room. Out comes the Indeedee, and in comes the Steelix, predicting the Rock Slide from the Gigalith. The room service is revealed, lowering the speed of the Steelix in Trick Room to make it faster than the Gigalith. Whimsicott goes for the Helping Hand to boost the attack of the Gigalith, and out comes Rock Slide. Beheeyem eats that, and Steelix, that just tickles him. Expanding Force comes out from the Beheeyem, hitting both opponents in the Psychic Terrain. One shots to the Whimsicott, does over 50% to Gigalith. Beheeyem is surprisingly powerful. The Torracat comes back out. Intimidate lowers the attack of the Steelix. The Steelix goes for Wide Guard, predicting that Rock Slide and maybe that Heat Wave. The Gigalith is predicted correctly and goes for the Rock Slide. We see the Expanding Force once again from the Beheeyem, picking up its second kill of the game on the Gigalith and doing a hell of a lot of damage to Torracat. Torracat goes for the Will-O-Wisp, lowering the attack of the Steelix once again. Both Torracat and Beheeyem take some Sandstorm damage, and Beheeyem lives on 1 HP. Cybertron reveals his final Pokemon, Primarina. The Primarina goes for Protect just to try and stall out this Trick Room a bit. The Steelix goes for the Iron Head. It is protected by the Primarina, and the Expanding Force once again protected by the Primarina, but takes down the Torracat. Beheeyem picking up his 3rd kill of the match. Unfortunately, Beheeyem will go down to Sandstorm though. The Indeedee comes back out. We're gonna see the Dynamax from the Primarina in a last ditch attempt from Cybertron to win this battle. The Iron Head comes out from the Steelix, doing a little bit of chip damage, and the Indeedee eats the Max Starfall and goes down. The Sandstorm subsides, and the Trick Room goes back to normal. Out comes Jack's final Pokemon, Virizion. We see the Dynamax come out from the Virizion to deal with the Dynamax Primarina. We see the Max Overgrowth from the Virizion onto the Primarina, doing a massive chunk to its HP. The Max Starfall from the Primarina onto the Virizion does about 40%. Virizion takes that very well. Steelix uses the Iron Head, picks up the kill on Primarina, and game 1 goes to Jack from NerdOut and the 8th Holuchas. In game 2, we see Cybertron lead with an Excadrill and Gigalith combo. Indeedee and Beheeyem once again for the 8th Holuchas. The Psychic Surge activates, setting the Psychic Terrain. The Psychic Seed activates, boosting the special defense of the Beheeyem. And we see the Sandstream from the Gigalith, setting the Sandstorm weather. Here we see the Indeedee go for the Follow Me, redirecting any attacks so the Beheeyem can set up the Trick Room once again. Excadrill going for the Rock Slide, maybe hoping for the flinch on the Beheeyem so the Trick Room doesn't get set. But then we see Explosion from the Gigalith. Kaboom! The Explosion takes down both Indeedee and Beheeyem, and that is 2 kills off the bat for Cybertron. The 8th Holuchas send out Steelix and Virizion, his final 2 Pokemon. And we see the Unfezant for the Melbourne Rotoms. We see the Dynamax Steelix from the 8th Holuchas trying to recover from that devastating loss in turn 1. The Excadrill goes for the Earthquake, obviously not hitting his own Unfezant. Does some nice chip damage on the Steelix and Virizion. Then we see the Brave Bird come out from the Unfezant, hitting the Virizion and easily picking up that kill. We see the Max Quake from the Steelix onto the Excadrill, picking up that kill. but I don't think it's going to be enough to win this game. Out comes the Primarina. We see the Primarina Dynamaxing, and this is not looking good. The Unpheasant goes for the Brave Bird, just outspeeding the Primarina, and then we see the Max Geyser from the Primarina picking up the kill and finishing the game. Game 2 goes to Aaron CybertronVGC and the Melbourne Rotoms. Hopping into game 3, and we see the Gigalith and Excadrill once again for the Melbourne Rotoms, and Jack going with his secret weapon with the Sneasel and Holucha lead. We see the Dynamax from the Excadrill for the Melbourne Rotoms. Sneasel goes for the Ice Shard onto Holucha using the self-proc weakness policy. +2 attack for the Holucha. The Unburden ability activates, making it faster than the Excadrill. We see a +2 close combat into the Excadrill, but it reveals the Chopple Berry, reducing the damage from that close combat and living the attack. Both defenses reduced on the Holucha. The Excadrill goes for the Max Steel Spike into the Holucha, picking up the kill and raising the defense of the Excadrill and Gigalith. We see the Rock Slide from the Gigalith into the Sneasel, picking up the kill. The Holucha send out their final 2 Pokemon, the Virizion and the Indeedee. We see the Dynamax from the Virizion, once again in hopes of saving this game. Indeedee goes for the Follow Me to redirect any attacks off of the Virizion. We see a Max Steel Spike from the Excadrill, bringing the Indeedee down to Sash. The Virizion goes for the Max Knuckle, but doesn't quite do enough damage to the Excadrill to pick up the kill. After that Steel Spike defense boost, the Gigalith goes for the Rock Slide, finishing off the Indeedee and doing a little bit of chip damage on the Virizion. The Excadrill goes for the Max Guard, preventing any damage from the Virizion. The Virizion goes for the Max Knuckle into the Excadrill. It is protected, and the Gigalith goes for Explosion once again. Kaboom! The Excadrill avoids any damage, and the Virizion takes a nice chunk. Out comes the Unpheasant to clean up this Virizion. Excadrill goes for the Iron Head, doesn't do quite enough damage to pick up the kill on the Virizion, but then we see the Unpheasant going for the Brave Bird, picking up the kill, finishing the game, and Cybertron and the Melbourne Rotoms are your Week 6 winners! Nah, for real, guys. GG to Aaron CybertronVGC. It was a pleasure to play you, man. Make sure you check out his stuff in the description below. No one else to blame but myself this week. I didn't have enough time to practice properly. I still think I put up a good fight. GG's to Aaron. Hope to see you again in the playoffs, but I promise you next time we play, I will beat you. If you did enjoy this video and you are enjoying the WBE, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new with notifications on, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
Ain't no one here that can stop me. Go fast. You see the momentum is top speed. Into your building like it's a party. If you step into the way, I stump your head into the concrete. Leap into the battle, the ground will rattle. This ain't better. Green is on the scene playing patty cake with a tank cannon. These powerful punches can penetrate. This ain't brand new.